Over the course of 2020, SNK have been publishing re-releases of their classic NeoGeo Pocket Color titles on Nintendo Switch. These are the first time these games have ever been re-released, and as a fan of all things handheld gaming, especially the NeoGeo Pocket Color, I just had to check these out. So I actually have one of these titles being Samurai Shodown 2. But not only that, I also have a NeoGeo Pocket Color, and a whole bunch of games. I've mentioned this idly on the channel before, I think, but yeah, in 2012 I had a big NeoGeo Pocket Color phase, and of the games released on Switch so far, I have 4 of them in cartridge form. Gals Fighters here, of course, KOF, one of the more common games, Samurai Shodown, and Fatal Fury as well. I don't have Lost Blade. Also, I have Match of the Millennium, which at the point of recording now is rumored but not confirmed. I hope that they can do this, because that'd be awesome. Especially because, yeah, I do have cartridge versions of these. Gals Fighters and Match of the Millennium are actually quite rare. I've got a few other games as well. Dark Arms would be a cool one, actually, to re-release. And of course, Sonic. But today, I want to compare what it's like playing Samurai Shodown 2, or Samurai Shodown 2, on original hardware. Versus the Switch. So, right away the most obvious thing is the controls. Oh, Code Mystics, by the way. Right, I should probably elaborate on that. Code Mystics is a developer that specializes in porting games, and especially emulation and remastering of older video games to modern systems. They've done a ton of great work for SNK already, with games like Garo, Mark of the Wolves, and King of Fighters 97 Global Match on PS4, Vita, and PC. They've also done work for Arcade 1-Up in recent years, as well as contributing their netcode library for modern fighting games like Rivals of Aether. So I generally trust them when it comes to preserving classic fighting games like this. Oh, it actually, the Switch version actually has restore points as well. You close the game and, it'll start you where you left off. So, yes, we have the same game, NeoGeo Pocket Color versus Nintendo Switch. So, right away the most obvious change is the controls, of course. You get this nice clicky stick on NeoGeo Pocket Color. So I'm pretty bad at this game, just putting that out there. Haven't practiced it too much, haven't played it in a while either. So of course, the first obvious thing is that, yeah, the clicky stick is awesome. This is a stock system with no backlight installed or anything like that. You need an IPS display mod for that, and I tend to want to keep my handheld system stock, in the most part. Although I do have a modded Game Boy Advance. But of course, the Switch version, nice big screen, nice colorful backlit screen. Let's just turn that down. Of course, a NeoGeo Pocket Color isn't that expensive, but they definitely used to be a lot cheaper when I was into collecting for it. Samurai Shodown 2 was one of the more common games. King of Fighters and Fatal Fury are still really cheap, I think. Gals Fighters and Match of the Millennium, if that gets a release, those are quite rare and highly sought after. I got really lucky to find them for as cheap as I did. So, yeah, right away that's the thing, right? Like, making these games accessible to more audiences is the important thing here. So you get a whole bunch of options in these versions as well. You can zoom in and out. There's a pixel grid filter. There's different skins for the different color systems. Or you can just turn the border off entirely. I of course go for this one since it's the system I have. I think. Yeah, that's the same. No, it's actually the Model 1 system I just noticed. Huh, okay, well, it's close enough. This is one of the slim revision systems, rather than the original model. So that's interesting, I didn't notice that until just then. Of course, there's a rewind feature. Although I've been paused for a long time, so it's just rewinding me being paused. But yeah, you know, you've seen rewind features in these things. And you get the full manual as well. I don't have any boxed NeoGeo Pocket Color games, so this is a nice touch, having the original manual. But the Switch version has one more ace up its sleeve, of course. Yeah, playing on original hardware is great, but who do you know who has a NeoGeo Pocket Color, let alone another copy of Samurai Shodown 2? So that's where the versus play comes in this Switch version, cause break off the Joy-Con, or just hook up a second Pro controller. Oops, this is player 1 for some reason. Yes, it brings up a second NeoGeo Pocket Color, and you get to choose your character individually. And of course the handicap as well. And then it zooms right in, and you can play local multiplayer in these originally handheld only fighting games. Very much like the Super Game Boy stuff that I talked about a while ago on the channel. So that is awesome. That is unique to this, and what makes... I didn't necessarily want to buy any of these, because I already have cartridges for most of them. But finding out that it's this, like... that they have local multiplayer this well implemented, I'm honestly starting to consider buying some of these now. Yeah, this is awesome. Oh, and by the way, I didn't show this, but if you actually play with the Joy-Con attached to the system, it actually goes into a sort of head-to-head view like this, like a bar top cabinet, so that's also pretty great. Especially useful for Switch Lite owners as well, but of course, if you want to play head-to-head like this, you can. So there's lots of options here, and of course, you know, works on the TV with your Pro controllers and stuff, I believe, as well. Or any fight sticks you want to use, maybe. So that's all there is to it, really. To recap, the Nintendo Switch releases of these games, in addition to being the most accessible way to play these games through official means, offer a number of unique features that make these versions quite worthwhile, such as including the original manual and even seamless local multiplayer. Now, this is slightly off topic, so I've saved it until the end, but there's something else I want to show you. So I have one of the NeoGeo Pocket Color collection titles. In fact, I have the fancy shock box here from Pix and Love for Samurai Shodown, new Samurai Shodown, which of course came with not only a physical copy of the game, which, I mean, the game was released in stores anyway, but a limited physical copy of the NeoGeo Pocket Color game as well. So that's pretty awesome. I want to see more stuff like this, definitely. This Shockbox release is amazing, by the way. There's just so much in here. This is the only one of these we have, but... you know, we've got this massive book for new Samurai Shodown, all the art from that. And the Switch port of this game is actually pretty good, by the way. It's very blurry, but it's all there. So, don't worry about like it being a bad port. It's totally playable on Nintendo Switch. I think we've just about covered everything there is to say, so you know the drill. If you liked this video and want to see more comparisons and deep dives and other fun retro content, consider clicking some of the videos you see in the end screen here. And of course, I hope you consider subscribing and sticking around. The best way you can support me is to keep watching and share my videos and get my channel monetized. 2,000 subscribers was the goal in 2020, which we met, so I think we can do it, and it's all thanks to you, so thank you everyone for watching. Hope to catch you next time.